This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. I'm going to show you videos of Hue, Vietnam as I discuss why many would consider it a great place to retire cheap, but no need to take notes. Everything I say is in writing. Just click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get Hue, Vietnam, livability factors, cost of living, best area to stay, cheapest flights, Old Town walking tour, temple scooter tour, nightlife tour, and digital nomads in Hue, life and food, plus facts and history, and our best retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. We are in Vietnam right now looking for our favorite retired cheap destinations. I've been traveling the world investigating the low-cost paradise locations since 2007. I've been to 65 countries so far. Vietnam is one of my favorites since I first came here about 4 years ago. I'm not sure where you were born, but that doesn't mean you have to live the rest of your life there. I'm an advocate for the idea that you get to design your life. The best possible life for you has many things to do with it, including your favorite kind of weather, your favorite kinds of food, and the cost of living and lifestyle. If your favorite place to live in the world costs half as much to live, that means you can retire much earlier than you thought. Maybe you can retire now. Many people have been struggling since the world economy crashed in 2008. We provide information that helps people find their retirement dreams on a budget. There's a link here to see about our membership benefits. Click that and check it out. Today we're talking about the former capital of Vietnam, the imperial city of Hue, Vietnam. Here are some of the factors that will help answer the question, should you consider Hue, Vietnam to retire cheap? Okay, Hue livability factors. Walkability, high. A high rating means a place fits that factor very well. Why is Hue so walkable? Because both the old city and the new city have places you can stay that are central, and you can get almost everything you need within walking distance. Internet, high. The internet should not be an issue for you in Hue, Vietnam. I was able to upload YouTube videos rapidly. Also, there was very little delay in real-time applications such as Skype calls and Google searches. Food, medium. They have Vietnamese food here down perfectly, as you would expect, but there's not as much diversity in foreign foods as you would experience in larger towns like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh. That said, the vegetarian and vegan choices here are better than expected because this is the former capital of the Nguyen emperors, and they were big fans of Buddha. Okay, weather, medium. Average highs range seasonally from Fahrenheit 75 or Celsius 24 in December to 95 Fahrenheit, which is 35 Celsius in July. Average lows at night range seasonally from 18 Fahrenheit, 64 Fahrenheit to, which is 18 Celsius in January, to 78 Fahrenheit, which is 25 Celsius in June. That's the nighttime averages for those months. The rainy season is September through December, when at least some rain falls in 16 or more days of the month. The rain is very strong in October and November. I like warmer weather, so this would be a high for me, even though it's probably medium for most people. Things to do, high. Beaches, pagodas, the imperial city, ancient emperor tombs, the Royal Museum, the DMZ zone, live music, Big C Mall, wet markets, international restaurants in the tourist zone, and the Bac Ma National Park. One of the most interesting things to do is to rent a scooter for $4 per day and drive around the outskirts of Hue with no destinations in mind at all. Just stop or turn to explore. What is that? Whenever you see something interesting, unexplainable, or demanding it be shared with the world on whatever social media you're addicted to, just head in that direction. Okay, social considerations, medium. If you're looking for a taste of home, this may not be right for you. This is the real Vietnam here. There's no break from immersion in a culture that is unique and steeped in tradition. There are expats here, but they have mostly integrated into the culture. There are tourists here, but they are passing through. The tourists are here for a day or two and then heading off to the next cultural immersion. This is a deep cultural experience. The tourists are here to eat Vietnamese, drink Vietnamese, and listen to Vietnamese. At night in the tourist area, see below nightlife tour, you will hear locals playing top 40s international music from yesterday and today. But otherwise, you're almost entirely in Vietnam. Likely there is still a place in Vietnam to experience Vietnam. Let's hope the rest of the world figures out how to keep their culture. What would be the point of travel otherwise? Okay, expats, medium. The number of expats in Hue seems moderate, but there are a few places that will help you get started if you're considering Hue as a temporary or permanent retirement place. There are 2 Facebook pages for you to join and ask questions, links provided. Okay, real estate. Hi. Based upon a few places we saw walking around Hue, we estimate a 1-bedroom apartment will rent somewhere between $300 and $500 per month USD. The utilities would be another $80 to $100 US per month, including internet. Do not buy real estate in Vietnam, just rent. Do not bank in Vietnam either. Just pull money out as needed using your ATM. You'll be able to pull more cash out at international ATMs than local banks. The fee is often the same, so you'll be paying lower overall fees by pulling out more per ATM visit. Okay, visa requirements. I would give this a high also. The American expats we spoke to in Vietnam do not apply for retirement visas. Americans can get a 1-year visa and renew once a year by doing a visa run to Laos or Cambodia. There are companies that will take you to the border and back for about $100 US, all in, including stamp and lunch. If you're from another country other than the US, you'll likely need to do visa runs every 3 months. This is way better than Thailand. You don't have to leave or put money in a Vietnamese bank to stay longer. You just do visa runs. Okay, air pollution. Hi, the air was clean in Hue. We came to Hue after 2 weeks in Hanoi, and the difference was amazing. Okay, Hue overall desirability score, I would say medium to high. If you like more rural feeling areas and are interested in total integration with fewer expats around you, Hue would be rated high overall desirability. Otherwise, Hue is medium desirability. If you're finding any value here, could you please like it, comment, share, or subscribe? Your simple act of kindness will move us up in the Google and YouTube search rankings so our business grows faster. If you'd like to learn how to fire your boss and live in paradise for peanuts, please grab a free copy of my ebook. Link provided, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. By the way, all these links are available. Just click the link in the notes below the YouTube video. There's a full web page with all this information. Okay, Hue, Vietnam, cost of living. There's a table on the web page. You can take a look at it. But basically for a frugal person, or even more frugal than myself, the range is somewhere around $400 to $1,000 per month to live in Hue. This estimated cost of living for 1 month for one person is for a temporary visitor. It only includes rent, 2 meals per day, and local transportation. I usually have oatmeal for breakfast in my room, so I don't count that. Never move anywhere until you've visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on lifestyle and the time since this post. inflation and such. The above numbers are for one person and do not include alcohol, tours, or extras. Here's a free report explaining how the cost of living table works. Link provided. If you buy anything using our links such as flights, tours, or accommodations, you'll pay nothing extra, but will earn a small commission. Your kindness will encourage us to keep making these travel guides and videos. Okay, best area to stay in U. Here's a few suggestions. There's a hostel, there's a medium-priced hotel, and an expensive hotel. Just click the links and you'll see all the information about them. Also, there's an Airbnb link here. Next time we would probably stay a bit longer and get this Airbnb so we could cook some meals at home. If you're new to Airbnb, there's a link here for you at checkout to get a big discount. Okay, cheapest flights to Hawaii. We always use Skyscanner to find the best flights. They have a web crawler that is constantly looking for the cheapest flights all over the world. As usual, we always find our cheapest flights on Skyscanner. We took a train from Hanoi down to Hawaii, and there's also flights. But we like taking the train because you can see the landscape and you get a real idea for how beautiful the country is. Okay, Hawaii Old Town walking tour. There's a video of this. Watch the video. If it looks fun, click the link and start walking. There's also a short summary of each of the places that we cover in the video on the web page, and so those are both resources available to you. The map, you just click it on your smartphone and start walking, and it will take you on the Old Town walking tour. Okay, Hawaii Vietnam scooter tour. These are places too far to walk that I'm recommending you see. So for the first stop on this tour is where we rented our scooter for $2 for half of a day. Driving on a scooter, just driving this course would take 1.6 hours, including stopping at each place and exploring would take 5 to 6 hours. If the video looks fun, just click the link or the below map and start your tour. The stops are listed below the map with a few facts for each. All of this on the web page. Okay, Hawaii Vietnam nightlife. There's a video for this. I'm not recommending the places on the map. I'm just using the walking tour as reference points to make sure you walk in a way that puts you in front of all these fun places. Just listen for your music or whatever it is that looks fun and stop in. This will give you a nice survey of the nightlife. Again, all of these have Google Maps on the web page. Digital nomads in Hawaii life and food experiences. Hawaii is known for having more vegetarian dishes than other parts of Vietnam. It is rooted in local Buddhist traditions. One of the most famous Buddhist monks in the world, Thich Nhat Hanh, is from Hawaii. After a long term in exile, he was given permission to return to Hawaii in 2005. Now he's spending his remaining days in his root temple, which is on the scooter tour. You have to see it. It's beautiful. He's published over 100 books and is active in the peace movement. He also practices veganism as a means of nonviolence to animals. Anyway, there's a link here to a bunch of cool vegetarian restaurants. Go ahead and check them out. And then there's our top 3 from the list are on the web page also, and they're also on the map. All of that's available to you. Just click below the YouTube video. Okay, Hawaii facts and history. Here are some interesting facts about Hawaii, Vietnam. And there's a link to the Wikipedia page where most of these facts were found. Hawaii was the capital of Vietnam from 1738 to 1775 and from 1802 to 1945. About 460,000 people live in Hawaii today. It's a big tourist attraction in Vietnam because of its moat and imposing thick stone walls of the imperial city. It's a great place for photographs and for learning about Vietnamese history. Hue was also the site of one of the bloodiest battles during the Vietnam War with South Vietnam and the Americans, or I should say North Vietnam versus South Vietnam. But I'm getting ahead of history here. The oldest ruins in Hue date back to the 4th century AD, located at the Long Thao Hill. There are also 9th century ruins nearby in the ancient city of Hue Chau. In the late 16th century, Nguyen Kim, the leader of the Ly dynasty loyalists, was poisoned. This allowed Nguyen Kim's son-in-law, Trinh Kim, to take the leadership role. Trinh Kim then had Nguyen Kim's eldest son, Nguyen Huang, assassinated to secure his leadership position. Nguyen Huang, a younger son of the poisoned leader, Nguyen Kim, pretended to have mental illness to avoid being assassinated by Trinh Kim. Nguyen Huang then asked his sister, Ngoc Bao, who was married to Trinh Kim, to ask her husband for a governing appointment in southern Vietnam. Trinh Kim consented. Trinh Kim allowed the younger brother Nguyen Huang to fight rebels in Thanh Hai in a southern part of Vietnam. After success in southern Vietnam, Nguyen Huang and his heir, Nguyen Phuc, won the hearts and minds in southern Vietnam. So they rose up against the Trinh Kim lords, creating a civil war between the Trinh lords and the Nguyen lords. By the 17th century, the Nguyen lords had established themselves militarily with citadels in central and southern Vietnam, which the Tran lords were unable to breach. In the 18th century, the citadel in Phu Duan, now called Hue, became the capital of the central and southern Vietnam after Lord Nguyen Phu Quat proclaimed himself king. In the earliest part of the 19th century, all of Vietnam was united under the first emperor of the Nguyen dynasty, Nguyen Phu Ca, in 1802. The first emperor established Hue as the capital of united Vietnam. In the late 19th century, the French conquered Vietnam but left the emperors in place to reduce the appearance of an unwelcome colonization. During the French colonial period, Hue was a protectorate of Annam. The Nguyens ruled as figureheads following orders from Paris until 1945, when the government was turned over to Ho Chi Minh in Hanoi. In 1940, Ho Chi Minh declared Hue as part of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, with the new capital returning to Hanoi. During the Vietnam War, Hue was vulnerable to attacks because it was near the border between North and South Vietnam. In the Tet Offensive of 1968, Hue lost considerable prestige because of the Americans bombed all of the historical buildings and because the communist Viet Cong army killed or abducted over 4,000 Hue residents perceived as friendly to the Americans. Hue is now seen in a more favorable political light in Hanoi and is currently being revived as a center for tourism in central Vietnam. Okay, present moment awareness. If you're interested in the subject of present moment awareness, my videos on that subject are now being posted at my new Present with Vagabond Buddha YouTube channel, link provided. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel to watch us move around the world. 65 countries so far. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Thank you for reading our Retire in Hue for Cheap guide. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner?